All right, thank you for tuning into Niaga AWANI. And right now, we want to talk about Malaysia's business landscape, where we see is evolving right now, and so are its human resource or HR demands. And with compliance requirements that are distinctly local in nature, many organizations are beginning to ask the question they perhaps should ask sooner, which is, for example, is the HR system running their workforce actually built for the way Malaysian businesses operate? And this question is becoming increasingly urgent. And from October 2025, EPF contributions for non-Malaysian employees will become mandatory, while revised employment pass salary thresholds take effect from 1st June 2026. And at the same time, payroll in Malaysia is already highly complex, where employers must manage EPF, SOCSO, EIS, and also PCB calculations simultaneously, often across multi-entity structures and also diverse workforce compositions, and that include local hires, foreign workers, contract staff, and also gig workers. And requirements like itemized pay slips and digital contract stamping and the administrative burden on HR teams quickly intensifies. So for businesses relying on systems not built for this environment, what once seemed cost effective can actually quickly become restrictive. So the question is no longer whether gaps exist, it's how much they're already costing the business. So joining us today to share insights is Eugene Teo, the Vice President of HRX at IFCA MSC Berhad. Good morning, Eugene.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us on Niaga AWANI. To start off, Eugene, why are HR and payroll systems becoming a bigger issue for Malaysian business right now?
Okay. Right now, you can see the main concern about HR nowadays is talent acquisition and also talent retention. Unfortunately, this is a very difficult task. It's not easy to get people nowadays, and getting the right people is also difficult. However, we find that a lot of organizations still have problem with the day-to-day affairs, managing payroll, HR and payroll, handling their payroll computation on a monthly basis and such. So this should work like a well-oiled machine, but unfortunately, because the system that they put in place may not be fully compliant, therefore it creates a lot of problem. And they need to put in a lot of effort to rectify this issue. And when they rectify, sometimes put a lot of double checking, a manual workaround and such. This in some way is not healthy, in the sense that they are not concentrating on the more important task, which is the strategic growth of the organization, rather than firefighting day-to-day activities.
And within this growing complexity, do you think SMEs are actually underestimating just how complex payroll compliance has become, or do you have any other thoughts?
Yes, surprisingly so. A lot of them think that, when we process just typical, a new employee comes in, their payroll, they don't understand how complex Malaysian statutory laws is. We have LHDN, we have EPF, we have SOCSO, we have EIS, we have HRDC fund. All right, I think right now maybe you also think like, wow, there's quite a lot of things. And then understand most SMEs, they can't afford to employ a very experienced HR person that has like 10 or 15 years of experience in the industry. They typically get, entry-level people that just understand the basic of it. These kind of things may not easily come to them, and when they use a system that is not compliant, they do not know they are making mistakes. They do not know they are not complying with the law. And when that happens, who is at risk? The business owners themselves, because the law says that if anything happens, if the wrong contribution is being done, the directors of the companies is the one that liable to face the penalties.
Interesting perspective. And that brings us to the systems many companies rely on today. So what happens when businesses use global or generic HR systems that's actually not built for Malaysia?
Okay, the system works itself, but sometimes when it comes to a certain compliance part, when new regulation comes in, for example, in June, SOCSO just introduced a Lindung 24 program. Okay, so it introduced a new employee contribution that needs to be deducted from the employee. For those that see the payslip this month, they will be able to see the new contribution. We understand that some of the global, they do not know about this announcement ahead. In fact, the users themselves, you don't want to have to inform this system that, hey, we have this thing in place, and then you have to get it ready in time. So therefore, it is important that a Malaysian built payroll that understand this, in fact, in close contact with the necessary statutory bodies, like in our case, we actually always keep in touch with LHDN, SOCSO, EPF, through their website, and to make sure that it is always up to date, so that we know when this comes in, we advise the necessary customers to tell them that get ready in this place, and we put it ready for them.
I agree. And in fact, looking ahead, regulatory changes will add another layer of pressure. So how will upcoming changes such as CPF contributions for foreign workers and also revised employment pass thresholds actually affect employers?
Yes.
Eugene.
The problem is always the understanding. In our experience, when we actually come across most of our own customers themselves, we are the one that have to inform them, hey, these are the changes that has to be put in place. They will be like, hey, I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah.
So that is what we find. So a lot of times they expect the system just runs together. They have no awareness about it. I mean, the necessary bodies also has sent out the communication on the mass media, they send out on the website and such. But sometimes if you don't check, you don't check. All right. So this is where we actually does come in and help. We understand that we have to inform. We organize sessions that actually brief the customers, okay, and in fact the general public also, to how to handle these changes. All right. How complex it is, don't worry, the system will take care of it.
And for many growing companies, the question is when to make a shift. So at what point should a company consider upgrading from spreadsheets or a basic payroll system?
Okay. If you find a solution that is scalable, you can do it anytime. Scalability means that it grows with you. All right. Their concern typically, they think that a solution that they get in place, a full compliance system, it tends to be costly to them. Not necessary. If you find a solution that can scale with you, grow with you, that will be a very good starting point. As you are small, you start on small, you don't have to pay so much. But as you move on, you need more enterprise level. You need more complex matters to be handled. In fact, we are just talking about compliance on payroll. There will be many other things, like if you have multi-companies, multi-entities, there's many things that have to be reported properly, statistic updated properly and such. So all of this, if you get a solution that can scale, can grow, and of course supported well, things will not be difficult.
So indeed, the goal is just more than just upgrading. It's about simplifying operations at the same time.
Yes.
So how can digital HR system actually help businesses manage compliance without actually adding more burden to all the HR teams?
Okay. So the most important thing is that if the system is pre-built with all this compliance in place, it's automated so that the users do not need to worry about this thing.
Okay.
All the rules are in place. Whenever, let's say, a change of contribution rate, or let's say somebody grows above 60 years old, the rate of contribution change, all of this can be handled by the system, not something that somebody on the user side or the company side have to remember, oh, somebody is 60 years old, I better go and update his setting so that his EPF is contributed more or less or something like that. So if the system is aware of this and they already pre-built this, you shouldn't worry.
And of course, when we talk about digitalization, as it increases, AI, artificial intelligence, is becoming part of the conversation as well.
Yes.
So where does AI fit into HR, and how do we ensure it supports rather than replaces human decision making?
AI is basically a tool to help decision. The decision should still be based on human. I think we have not come to a stage that we can rely on AI to make the decision. So like in our case, in our product itself, we actually develop AI. So when we do AI, we complement it to the users themselves. Things like recruitment. When you come to recruitment, AI helps you to filter. You may have thousands of applications that want to apply to your company. AI helps to filter who is suitable, who is not suitable. But the ultimate decision making, who shall you employ, okay, it's all still based on human base. You still need to interview someone to find whether they are suitable for you. AI can't interview that yet. Or if AI can do interview, I mean, we have video interviews and such that AI can assess, The decision is they will provide a sort of like a results itself that says, hey, this person is suitable. Do you want to consider? The decision is still up to the human itself.
Yeah.
Same also for compliance. AI can help to detect anomalies, like something is not right. Okay, which is better than human? If human want to check, let's say you have hundreds of employees, to check every single line itself, the human makes mistakes. AI doesn't. AI can detect that. But AI can't tell you whether it's right or wrong. AI can just say, hey, there's a difference in this person overtime for this month. The humans still have to make the decision. We are not taking that away.
AI can never replace human intuitions. So now, we want to talk about costs, which is always a major concern, especially for SMEs, the small medium enterprises. So for businesses that are watching their budgets, how can actually they justify investing in HR technology today?
Okay, just like HR technology right now, if you find a right solution that caters for scalability, the cost is not surprisingly not very expensive, right? But what is important is that the system that you choose, does it grow with you? So what we see in the market right now, a lot of them, they just choose the cheaper solution on the market. But the problem that they face, if they stay small, it's okay. But when they grow, the solution that they choose does not grow with them. Okay. So in our case, our product itself, we understand that we understand there's different needs. There are needs that small needs, but there is always a path for them to move on. Always a continuous path, rather than just say, hey, you're stuck there.
So starting from small needs, and when they are ready to invest, what should employees look for when choosing a HR platform that's suitable for them?
Important thing is actually not the solution, not the bells and whistles or the UI itself. I think you have to look at the provider themselves, the provider, how they understand HR, how they understand about all the best practice, all the challenges that is being faced by the businesses. So that itself gives you an advantage that when you come across certain issues and such, the solution is not just the software itself. It also comes from the support and the implementation and the advice that is given by the provider.
So relating to your role at HRX, what is HRX actually trying to solve for Malaysian businesses when it comes to this human resource platform?
So our HRX is a full digital mobile cloud solution that caters for all the aspects of HR, from the administrative to the strategic perspective. And for this itself, we actually develop also an option that there is always different path of growth. From our basic edition that is simple to targeted to small SMEs, or to enterprise level, which can target to multinational companies. So our HRX itself, either the simple edition or the most premium edition, compliance is always at the core of it. Everything will work as it is, always stays up to date, and in some way what we are telling our customers is that worry-free.
Worry-free is a key word, and the most important thing is to actually make your whole process seamless. So that's where HRX comes into play. So thank you so much, Eugene, for sharing your insights. And as Malaysia's workforce landscape continues to evolve, one thing is clear, it's about HR systems or human resource systems. They are no longer just administrative tools, but critical infrastructure for businesses' growth and compliance. So for organizations navigating increasing complexity, the right system isn't just about efficiency, it's about staying future ready. So you can find this whole discussion on all of our social media platforms, and that includes astroawani.com. And thank you again, Eugene. And for you viewers, thank you for watching.